so last week we talked about red flags, non-negotiables, how to feel confident in your decision of lifelong partner. The week before we talked about weddings and how to prioritize it and really keep it in perspective of your marriage and your values. So we thought we'd transition just a little bit to what comes after your wedding day, to those first few weeks, months, year, and how to proceed with your new partner.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly you're a wife
or husband.
You've never been here before. You know, you're both in these brand spanking new roles, and sometimes we just are like, what do we do with this? What does my spouse expect of me? What do I expect of myself? So what does this mean, and what do we do with this?
Right. So I think to look forward, we have to first look back. So what did your families do? What did they do with household roles? What did they do with traditions, or just how they handled conflict?
Right.
So how does your family of origin shape you? Is it something you want to do similar? Is it something you want to do the complete opposite?
Yeah, sometimes we, you know, for better or worse, we don't think critically about where we came from, but it's so important to do that because we can't assume that everything is going to be the same.
Right.
In fact, we should expect compromise.
Right.
We should come to the marriage table expecting things to be different because you're merging two very different people who come from two very different homes. And so it really can't be the same. That would just be coming to the table with a selfish attitude. And we don't want to do that. We want to come with humility and be, you know, have lots of self-reflection, but also be willing to create something new because something new has been created.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then thinking about those relationship roles, you know, what are the expectations for working outside the home, in the home, raising children, your budget, you know, what are those expectations practically that's going to
Who does what?
Exactly. So kind of going back to that family of origin piece, you know, do you do the dishes at night before you go to bed with a clean house all over? Or do you wait the next day? Do you do them together? Does one person do them?
Right.
There's so many different ways it could go, and none of them are wrong. And I think that's really important to remember that no person is right or wrong with these types of things. They're just different. And so you have to figure out what your flow is for your new relationship, and how to do it gracefully and joyfully.
Remember, there's going to be a little trial and error. You're going to try some things and it might not work, but be willing to fail. Be willing to try and realize, okay, this is not going to work for us.
Right.
And you try something new, and that's okay. That's, you know, that if you have the right perspective, that can even be fun to just try out new things and be honest with each other. Like, this is not going to work for me. This is clearly this is not your strong point. So, you know, let's work with each other's strengths and be complementary in how we're approaching our tasks.
Right. And so that learning curve also comes with an open attitude, right? So for example, if you're a new wife and you are wanting your husband to be the spiritual leader of your family, and he wants it too, right? But just because you both want it doesn't necessarily know that they're going to know what to do, right? And so, you know, as your husband is growing and learning and trying to be the spiritual leader, you know, don't hold it against him when he fails, or, you know, when he's not learning as quickly as you want him to. The same can be applied with any other role that comes with a relationship. Sometimes for me, I know I'm a fast processor, and so I want my husband to be like right there with me, and he's not always there. Sometimes he wants to think really deeply about things, and so just being really gracious and understanding where the other person is coming from and talking about it.
Give it time. Everyone needs everyone processes, like you said, in different ways. So give your spouse the time to process and fulfill that role the way they want to fulfill it in their own way. It will happen and likely be much more beautiful in the way that they're going to fulfill that role than you scripting out, you know, what you would like to see.
Exactly. Yeah. So on that note, we had a task for you guys. We thought each of you could sit down and kind of create a wish list for your marriage. We're only going to give you 3 things, you know, being realistic. So create a wish list of your top 3 things that you just hope for your marriage, for yourself, and then also for your partner. And then exchange the list, see what the differences are, see what the similarities are, and talk about what that's going to look like when that next step comes.
Yeah, what's the significance of those things on your wish list? Why do they mean so much to you? What do they symbolize for you? And just having that conversation before you get married can just really reduce the stress that might come with problems that arise from those really important things that maybe you never thought to talk about. So we love the idea of a wish list. We use it in our work too. And then, you know, we just want to say, overall, we just need to approach whatever conversations we're having with grace and humility. And we need to be having lots of those conversations. So that was our other point, is just be willing to discuss everything that comes up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So try it out. Let us know what you think about it. You can comment on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all platforms. So we'll see you next time.